This man played for the LA Chargers, the Washington Commanders. He is only one of 2 players to have 20 total touchdowns with the LA Chargers. The other one?
Probably LaDainian Tomlinson.
That is it.
The GOAT. The real GOAT.
I don't know. We're sitting with the one right here, and that is Austin Ekeler. Austin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you having me on. Yeah, actually, there's a crazy stat that coming from an undrafted position, I saw this. I think I'm number 3 in all-time rushing yards with the Chargers, and I saw that stat.
Really?
And I was blown away because LT's like way up there, then it like drops off a cliff. Like he has all the records, the touchdowns, the rushing, things like that.
Right.
And I was like, maybe there hasn't been like a predominant running back like that. Because for me, I'm like a hybrid guy, so I was surprised by that. I was like, okay, well, shout out to hey.
I think your career high was about 900 and
never cracked 1,000.
Never got 1,000.
But I mean, I was there for a long time, so that helps.
So who's number 2?
I forgot who was number 2.
Well, it might be Omarion Hampton on the trajectory which we're going to talk about. Let's actually get into that right now.
Let's do it.
Omarion Hampton is someone that's well beloved in the fantasy community. I know that recently on TikTok he posted a video with a Stain song, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, a black dude that knows ball knowledge with rock songs." And everybody's
I'm also
loving
a rock guy as well.
Hey, let's go. Name some bands you like.
Oh, I'm Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold. Shoot. 3 Days Grace.
Oh, let's go.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, those are a few off the top anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I know Slipknot only has like one guy left out of like 9 original people. So everybody's like, hey, this is
stuff back in the 90s, 2000s, them screaming in my ear when I'm working out still gives me the same energy. So
dude, I love it. Yeah, no, I go to metal concerts all the time.
Okay. I've never been to a metal concert. I'm actually honestly like intimidated by a metal concert.
Oh my, it's the best thing ever. Like okay, the smaller venues. There's a place in Atlanta called the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
There's also the Coca-Cola Roxy, the Masquerade. I love those because like you're just in the pit, everybody's pushing you. I'm like, woo, yeah.
You're one of those guys that's like flailing around in it.
Oh yeah, dude. It's a way to get your aggression out. You don't actually hit people because if you do, you're like, oh, sorry.
See, I get to hit people for a living, so so it's different. I don't need to go to the pit,
Yeah, no.
Now I stay away from getting hit,
Well, hey, I mean, hopefully, you can continue to hit people, and a team will be on the horizon. We'll talk about that in just a sec. But Omarion Hampton, a lot of people want to know. Mike McDaniel has said, fantasy football people hate to burst the bubble, but is this actually going to be a 3-down back, or is this going to be more of a timeshare with Keaton Mitchell or Kamani Vidal? In your opinion, Omarion Hampton, what's your analysis on him?
I hear Mike McDaniel. I hear what he's saying. Again, the coach talk, you can play into it, but the season's going to play itself out, and if you have a true starter, this is what happened with me actually over there. I can speak to the experience. Hey, Austin, you're going to be a kind of a tandem guy. We're going to bring someone in to split carries with you. I was there for 4 years on my second contract, and that never happened. Why didn't it happen? Because I was the hot hand at the time, right? So we're going to see who's the hot hand in that backfield. If it's Omarion, great. He's probably going to get majority of the reps. If he's not, they might have a type of committee type of environment. But they love to run the ball over there, so that's McDaniel, he's going to be running the ball, all the, his creativity, things like that. So I think no matter what, you're going to get good production out of him. But how heavy is that volume? I think it's going to play out. I hear what he's saying, but I think it's just smoke and mirrors.
I kind of agree with you on that because looking at the track record of Mike McDaniel as a run game coordinator, I think the 49ers had a top 10 rushing offense for like 2 years that he was over there. Then we know about the Dolphins with Raheem Mostert getting 18 touchdowns and Devon Achane going off as well. I think Omarion Hampton is a candidate to lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns. So there's guys like Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry. I think Omarion Hampton is going to be in that conversation. If everybody stays healthy, which unfortunately the offensive line is taking some hits.
Man, it's like a curse over there, man. Like it's the Charger curse. As a player, you don't pay any attention to it, but you hear people talk about it like, every year we have a great on paper, and then all of a sudden we start just getting chipped away through injuries. And I feel bad because my old center Tyler Biadasz at Commanders went over to the Chargers, and now he had pretty significant injury over there too. So it's like every year, man. Like, come on, I'm rooting for him at this point. I'm not on the team anymore, but I'm like, all right, you guys are due. We're due. Like, you guys have a solid roster every single year.
Kind of curious, does the substation go from Northern California down to LA with the 49ers and the substation and the electromagnetic, the injuries and all that? I don't know if that travels down.
They're popping up these things all over the place now, all the electronics, the data centers, all of that. So, I don't know if you could play anything into that, but who knows?
Yeah, and you talk about your Commanders, offensive line hits, Larry Tunsil as well as being one of those.
Yeah.
And then timeshares, I want to talk about the Commanders as well. We talked about the Chargers, Ja'Cory crooks-merritt and Rachaad White.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of confusion what's going to happen there. In your opinion, what you've been hearing, what do you feel like is going to happen?
I think you just look at the history of what that backfield's been. That's kind of one of the most unique backfields I was in with Coach Lynn as that running back coach. He likes to rotate guys. He's going to see, hey, this is what you're good at, and this is where I'm going to put you in the game. That's what he showed for the past 2 years. That's why we had like 3 running backs rotating for the past few years. From a fantasy perspective, that's not great, but you know what you're going to get from certain guys. So you can kind of use it to your advantage and see if you want to put stock into that guy. Like, for instance, we had Brian Robinson when he was there. He's going to get all the goal line work. Like, he was anything inside the 5, he's probably in the game. And so you knew, hey, this guy's got touchdown potential. You know, so I'm sure he's going to have one of those guys again this year. Who is that? Is going to be Rashad? Is that going to be Bill? I'm not sure. But you know, one of those guys is going to get the goal line work. And it might not show right away. So if there's a waiver opportunity or trade opportunity that you're looking for, might play itself out further in the season, but I think that's going to be a committee. I know they also have Jeremy McNichols as well, who's a third down guy over there. So it's going to be a committee.
Yeah, Katron Allen, there's a bunch of guys. So you are coming from an NFL perspective with the NFL background, but also a fantasy perspective. I know that we're here at the Draft Nation event here in Las Vegas promoting that, but I'm just curious. With players and my interactions with them, a lot of them are not really fond with the fantasy football community. You love it. Where's the connect?
You know what's really loud on Instagram or social media? Hate. Hate is really loud. You might scroll through 10,000 emails or whatever comments, and you see one that says, "You sucked, I hate you." That's the one that's going to stick in your mind, right? And so when you have this toxic environment, environment that has some toxicity in it, I should say, it's not a toxic environment at all. It's actually the opposite. But when you have a few individuals that are keyboard warriors in your comments, in your DMs, that sticks with you, and you're like, who are these people? Screw these people. And so unfortunately, that speaks louder than, you know, the compliments and things like that. So if you play into that, it can be really, really negative against your mindset against the actual game. So I think that's where a lot of people come from. It's like they don't give a damn. They don't care because I got all these randos in my comments and DMs. Like, I still have people in my comments and DMs like, "Hey, you still owe me $50 from when you lost me." Like, you know, like stuff. I'm like, come on, bro. I see through it. I see the good. I see the community building of it, and that's what intrigues me about fantasy football. And that's why I'm into it as much as I am. It's because I love that it brings people together, and I also love, from a selfish reason, that it takes off the logos off of our names. People don't care what team I play for. People care if I play well or not. You know, I have most people that come up to me, they don't say, "Hey, I'm a Chargers fan, hey, I'm a Commanders fan." A few do, but most people are like, "Hey, I had you on fantasy," or "Hey, I bet on you and you won me some money." And so I appreciate that part of it.
I love that. And so when you talk about the DMs and the negative comments that you get,
thousands of them.
What's
thousands.
The game that's been the loudest? Like, what?
It's the
DMs?
sports bettors. It's the sports bettors, and there's no like one particular game I can point to. It's every game, because either I didn't hit the parlay, or I didn't get a prop, or maybe I did. I get a lot of people that are like, "Hey, you crushed it for me this week," but it's always the people that are, I feel like, the parlay people, or the people that have money on like a prop or something, because money's on the line. I need you right now, this week, right here, and if I don't hit it, I'm emotional immediately, and I got to go tell them about it. You know, that's what happens.
Hey, I mean, we talked about it when we were filming yours. Like, hey, just go with the under.
Yeah.
If you're doing really well and you're projected 150 total yards, just come on.
And here's the thing: I feel like if you win, I feel like you're not as incentivized to go and actually take action. But when you're mad, like, that pushes people to do things, and they're like, "I'm gonna go DM him and tell him how I feel," you know. As opposed to like when you win, I have a lot more I lost on you than I won on you, but I know I won a lot of people money out there. So. Or Vegas just got really good with their lines and put it, so it's like.
Hey, yeah, no. And there's also on the flip side some games that are positive. One of my favorite games of yours was, I think it was 2019 against the Jaguars, where you had 12 touches and you had 100 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving.
I have a funny story from that game.
Please share.
Two funny stories from that game, actually. One of my favorite Phillip Rivers clips comes from that game. There's a clip of him, if you ever have seen him yelling, 90-yard touchdown, right in someone's ear. And the defender's like, "You don't got to say it in my ear." And he's like, "I will say it in your ear." And then the ref tells him to F off and pushes him away.
I didn't know it was from that game. That's awesome.
That was from that game. And so that was my touchdown. That's my 90-yard touchdown. That's how I ended up getting 100 and 100. And then at the end of the game, I was like 7 yards away from 100 yards receiving. I already had 100 yards rushing that game, and Coach Lynn, my head coach at the time, is like, "Hey, Austin, you need 7 yards to get 100 and 100. You're going back in the game. We're smoking these guys." And so I go back in the game, and the Jaguars defender's like, "Why are you back in the game?" Like, they recognize it. And I'm like, "I need 7 more yards for it." And they're like, "Oh, that's some bullshit." They were pissed that I came back just to get a stat.
It kind of reminds me of Mike Evans has been injured the past couple of years, and there was one game in 2024, I think it was the Week 18 finale against the Saints, I believe, where fourth quarter, Buccaneers already won. They could just kneel it, 20 seconds left, but they put Mike back out there, and he just runs a 4-yard route and just catches the ball to get over 1,000 yards. So I know coaches kind of care about that. Sometimes they don't.
It depends on who you got, man. It really does. But football, obviously we're about winning Super Bowls, things like that, but there's some small wins in there that if you can get for your guys, I appreciate the coaches that are like, "Hey, go get this stat." Like I was sad, but I mean, it is what it is. That's their situation. Where Saquon, where it's like he could have broke the record, but they sat him out. They ended up winning a Super Bowl, so it was worth it. But I'm like, man, that would have been a cool feat to be able to witness.
And I guess in Saquon's mind, he's kind of like unselfish. He's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm sure that Nick Sirianni offered for him to play.
Still had a great, over 2,000 yards rushing. So I mean, there's nothing to be sad about, But that opportunity to break that record again might not ever show up again,
Yeah, it may not, but he may go back to closer to that 2024 form this season. But we are here in Las Vegas, your home, and promoting the Draft Nation event that you're a part of, going around and talking with different media members and drafting with a lot of people that a lot of fans of yours that have drafted you in the past. You're also here to promote some stuff of yours. So Fantasy Royale, I want to know a little bit more about that, so please share.
So I get a lot of invitations to people's leagues. I could never join all of these leagues. And so I was like, okay, what is something I can do that's interactive that has me involved? And so I decided to create a nationwide league that everyone can join. Unlimited people can join. So it's Fantasy Royale Sports. What it is a national fantasy league. It's not traditional fantasy football. It's fantasy sports. So different types of contests that you get points that go towards your score. And so we have a ton of prizes. We have leaderboards for each city, each fan base, the nation, the state. So you'll see where you are in your kind of category. If you're a Bears fan, you'll see how good you are against all the other Bears fans out there. So it's a way to see who's the best in the nation in different subcategories out there. So it's a way we can all come together, play some fantasy. We got some cool prizes. I know for whoever's the best in the nation, I have 2 signed game jerseys, one for my Commanders career, one for my Chargers career, and then we have like $1,400 in signed memorabilia. One of my favorite prizes actually though is a free year supply of meat, like from Good Ranchers.
Pause. Big pause.
But steaks, burgers, chicken, a year supply is like $3,000 worth of protein. So stuff like that. We have great prizes, great competition. It's going to be fun.
I love that. No, in the fantasy community, I feel like everybody's competing against each other. I'm smarter than you. Yeah, but you
are you really? It's time. And here's the thing: you always compete in your little pocket.
Yep.
You got like 8 people you're better, and you think you're amazing. Well, let's actually find out. Someone is the best out there at all this stuff. And it's kind of like poker. There's a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, but that's the fun in it because you have a chance every year. You feel like, because hey, maybe this is my year. I can put my knowledge and a little bit of luck, and maybe go make a run.
I love that. No, I'll definitely be signing up for that because it's free, right?
It's free to play.
Free to play.
We got to take down the barriers because a lot of these like professional fantasy leagues are like high stakes. Like you got to have, there's a barrier of entry is money. So I'm like, let's take that out of here because we want more people to join. The more people we have joining, the more legit it is as far as how good you are. So we want to have a full competition this year. Here's the thing too, like think of like video games. I kind of thought of this. I'm going on a little tangent here. So
go for it.
Think of like video games. You pay for it one time, you get in, and then typically you don't pay again. I know there's like some other like microtransaction stuff, but typically you still have fun playing the game without having to pay again. Gambling and sports betting is like you keep paying, the money is like the rush. And so it's like, why can't we have a more gamified version that, hey, I can play fantasy and still get that rush? That's kind of what fantasy football is. It's a one-time payment and play. And so definitely know I have people that have probably come up to me and have probably lost money on me or maybe even sent me some weird DMs, but they come up to me, it's like a whole different energy. It's like, oh, Austin, hi, I see you. And so I know I'm getting maybe some. But again, it gets me in a good mood, and I'll answer your questions, sign your hat for you, So.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to have thick skin. I mean, you have probably the thickest skin out of all the players.
Being an athlete, you got to have thick skin. It comes with the nature, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be in a industry that you're going to have some popularity, you're going to get roasted. You're going to have bad games. You're going to have all the praise. You're going to have all that. So you got to be ready for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I tell my wife, hey, it sucks to suck. So if you suck, you're going to hear about it. You're going to feel it. It's going to be a lot of pressure. It's going to be even worse. So just don't suck. You'll be all right.
Yeah, to be a professional athlete online, that's why a lot of people are disconnected from, especially Twitter. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
Reading the comments is hilarious. Like, I'm a human too. I love that stuff. Like there'll be some post, you immediately go to the comments. Oh my God, what are people saying about this?
Yeah.
So I think that's what social media's turned into, is just kind of this like unhinged environment where people can just let loose. There's no repercussions, and it's funny. Sometimes it's like dark humor, but a lot of it's still funny.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. Hopefully you continue to get those kind of comments, because that means that you'll continue your career. You'll keep on playing.
Absolutely.
So what's the status on that?
Yeah, at this point in my career, look, I'm 31, coming off an Achilles tear. For me, I'm looking for the opportunity that fits me best if it comes. I'm being patient. I'm not rushing into anything. I think at this point, I'm almost like a mercenary. Where it's like, okay, what's the situation? Do I want to go fight for that cause? Maybe not that one. Let me wait a little bit long, because I'm not in a rush. For me, that's the point of my career and where my mental state is at right now.
Well, hopefully things work out, and whether it be in the NFL, whether it be in other future endeavors, you definitely got a future in broadcasting.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You're very media friendly. Like, you were very good on the camera. And then one last thing, I am doing a mock draft. I don't want to actually do a real draft with this, but a 12-team half PPR league on Sleeper. What I'm doing is everybody that I'm interviewing, I'm making them select one person.
Okay.
So I'm going to be drafting from the 101.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the 101, and then someone else is going to have the second round pick, and
Gotcha.
someone else is going to have the third. So pretty easy. Nobody's been taken.
Yeah, I don't have to take anyone. All right, we are going boom. We went with CMC. Christian McCaffrey is locked in on the 101. Half PPR. We're going for home runs. Hear me out. There's not one team that uses a running back like San Francisco does Christian McCaffrey. Not one. I get it. There's great players out there. Saquon, great player. Bijan, great player. Same with Gibbs, great players. Christian McCaffrey is heavily involved in the passing game, regardless of who else is out in the receiver position. He's going to be catching checkdowns. He's going to be catching options. He's going to be catching screens. They're going to run him into the ground like they did last year again. Yeah, 450 touches. He's going to get another 400 this year. If he stays healthy, home run league winner. You're welcome.
Oh, my goodness. Surprise of the century right here.
The thing is, and half PPR, we're just gobbling up. We're gobbling up reception points here, right?
Yeah.
Here.
Pause again, but yeah.
Gobble them up. There it is.
No, we'll just gobble them. We'll stay on our ground. We'll stay on our ground on that. Christian McCaffrey. Okay, well, make sure you guys get Kalen Black
Who went second?
or Jordan
Gibbs. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Well,
look, we're going for home runs. That's what I'm said.
Well, shoot. All right. Well, hey, Austin, I appreciate the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, man.
Heck yeah, it was a pleasure.